I was on the search for the perfect productivity monitor, and guess what? I found it. And no, this is not the Apple Studio display. It's even better, because it doesn't cost you an arm and a leg. It costs less than the Apple Pro stand by itself. Hi, my name is Fabian. I'm a minimalist from Switzerland, and I'm sharing my thoughts as well as my journey about finance, personal growth and productivity. Today we're talking about this boy right here. This is the Huawei MateView 28 monitor. Now let's talk facts. The screen itself is 28.2 inches. And yes, you might say something is weird with this monitor. It is probably its 3:2 aspect ratio. More on that later. The panel itself is a calibrated 10-bit IPS panel, and the screen is matte and is perfect in minimizing reflections. The resolution itself is basically 4K+, since we have a few additional vertical pixels. The panel supports 60 Hz. Yes, not 120 Hz, but that's completely fine, since this is not a gaming monitor. On the panel you can notice some slight brightness drop when you move from the middle of the screen to the side. I can see this when I have my Notion open on the left side of the screen and do my research on the right, but it is nothing that bothers me too much. For the price of $600 you get a very robust monitor with a full aluminum chassis with a smooth finish all around. The small bezels around the screen make it kinda look like a studio display. It is height adjustable and goes actually very high. It can also be adjusted in its angle. However, you cannot turn it 90 degrees. The robust aluminium stand is not removable, and you will get into why. So this might be a downer for you, but I don't mind it, since the stand looks very sleek and minimal. In the stand there's a built-in speaker in the front. The loudspeaker is good enough to listen to some background music or watching YouTube videos. I like the integrated speaker, because with this I do not need to buy additional speakers, and for editing videos I anyway always use my AirPods Pro. To adjust the settings of the monitor, there's a very neat smart bar with touch sensitivity. But honestly, screen settings for me just are a one-time adjustment, and then I never use it again. Let's talk about ports and connections. We have a few connections on the back: USB-C for powering the monitor itself, a mini display port and HDMI 2. On the side of the stand is a headphone jack, two USB 3 ports with Type A and one USB-C port. With this USB-C port, you can power your laptop and charge it with 65 watts. I appreciate that these ports are on the side. This makes them very easy accessible. Now to my favorite part of the display, and actually the reason why this is the perfect productivity monitor. The very unusual aspect ratio of 3:2 gives a lot of room for websites, writing or editing videos. You can open two programs or windows on the screen, and it just doesn't make it feel squeezed. I fell in love with this aspect ratio. Even at work, I wish I had this aspect ratio, because I'm used to working with two screens, but this monitor could actually replace both screens. The monitor supports HDR400. This is not top of the line, but more than good enough for me to play HDR content. The colors itself of the monitor are very good because of the IPS panel. They are neutral and not too intense. Overall, it's not a perfect monitor, but hey, does this exist? For me alone, the aspect ratio is worth the price, and the design is just a big plus. For now, I'm more than happy with this monitor, and it just fits so well into my minimal setup. Now I want to know, what do you think of the monitor? Especially the 3:2 aspect ratio. If you're interested in my whole setup, there is another video on the channel and probably recommended right now on your screen. With that being said, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.